Don't hurt your kids the way we were hurt. You know, at some point in our childhood, many of us silently promised ourselves that we'd never treat our kids the way we were treated. But now that we're parents, have we truly followed through on that promise? Let's chat about this today in a more relaxed way. Parenting is a big deal, and breaking negative cycles takes effort. Grab a coffee or tea, and let's dive in together. The big takeaway. Before we break things down, here's the gist of it. You can break free from negative patterns in disciplining kids by consciously and intentionally choosing a new way. With the right mindset and approach, we can raise our kids to be happy, healthy, and well-rounded. Think differently. So, the first step to being a different kind of parent. It's all about rethinking things. Let's face it, we humans love clinging to tradition. It feels safe, familiar, and tried and true. And in parenting, this can mean we stick to the same old methods our parents and grandparents used. But let's pause for a second. Just because it's traditional doesn't mean it's perfect. Right? Think about the old school belief that women only belong in the kitchen while men handle all the earning. That's a traditional view that has some truth but also has big limitations. Society has changed, and so should we. Now, as parents today, we're not just keeping traditions alive, we're also trying to break unhealthy cycles, things like misunderstandings, mental health struggles, or unresolved conflicts. We want to give our kids a childhood better than ours. When you allow yourself to think outside the box, new ideas and solutions start to appear. Get clear on your parenting goals. Here's something funny about parenting: we want everything for our kids. Good grades, kindness, happiness, independence, success, a close relationship with us, the list goes on. But here's the kicker: what's the most important goal right now? We can't accomplish everything all at once. And if we're not clear on what matters most, we might make choices that don't suit our kids' needs or circumstances. That's why setting priorities and being flexible is so important. For example, imagine your kid isn't scoring high on their tests. In frustration, you push them to study non-stop, cut off their screen time, and even scold them harshly. Sure, they might improve their grades, but at what cost? What about your relationship with them? Will they still want to talk to you as adults? Parenting is a long game. It's about finding the balance, focusing on what's most important for your child and your family. And here's a little reassurance: prioritizing love and care over pressure and strictness doesn't mean your child will fail. You're helping them thrive by supporting their emotional well-being and building a solid parent-child bond. Stay positive. Here's another thing we tend to carry from childhood: negativity. If we grew up feeling like the world was a tough, unforgiving place, we might unintentionally pass that mindset to our kids. But when we start viewing life more positively, our kids will too. They'll feel more motivated and confident to grow into the best version of themselves. If you want your kids to behave well, punishment isn't the only way. It's often not even the best way. Let's shift to building positive connections with our kids. Show them kindness, and they'll care about what you think and feel. When you care about their future, they'll start caring about it. 2. Encourage self-discipline. Now here's a wild idea. The best way to discipline your kids is to teach them to discipline themselves. Self-control is a basic human need. And when kids feel like their autonomy is being crushed, they'll rebel. It's not just defiance, they're trying to claim their space in the world. But don't worry. Respecting their autonomy doesn't mean letting them do whatever they want. It's about guiding them to make good decisions on their own. For example, if your child insists on doing something you know will fail, but it's not harmful, let them try. They'll learn from their own mistakes. And the lesson will stick way better than if you force them to do it your way. Be flexible. Parenting isn't one-size-fits-all. What works in one situation might not in another. Let's say your child doesn't do their homework. Instead of jumping straight to punishment, have a chat. Ask them why they're not doing it. Explain the benefits of getting it done. And then let them decide what to do. If they mess up, they'll face the consequences. And that's okay, it's part of the learning process. But if their actions hurt themselves or others, you need to step in right away. For instance, if your child hits someone, you might have to gently but firmly stop them, even if it upsets them. The key here is flexibility, knowing when to step back and when to step in, all while keeping the relationship intact. Be a role model. Kids learn by watching us. They pick up our values, beliefs, and attitudes. So if we want them to act a certain way, we've got to show them how. For example, if you want your child to stay calm during disagreements, you've got to stay calm. 2. Even if they're being disrespectful, show them respect. That's how they'll learn. Trust yourself. Parenting the new way isn't always easy. You might face judgment from family, friends, or even strangers. But stick to your values. If your partner disagrees with your approach, have open conversations. If needed, seek professional advice. It's okay to feel overwhelmed sometimes. Breaking old cycles and choosing a healthier path is tough. But it's worth it. And remember, you're not alone, there's help out there if you need it. At the end of the day, being a perfect parent isn't realistic. But being a good enough parent, totally doable. Let's break those generational cycles and be the parents we wished we had as kids. You've got this.